The Dynasty. The Dynasty.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah. I hope everybody is doing hella well. I'm doing all right. I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute, y'all. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm ready. Actually, I'm not ready. I forgot to get some water. Damn. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back, y'all. I gotta get some water.
The Dynasty.
We back. Okay. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. I really have to use the restroom. Ooh, wait. Not only did I have to go get water, I had to use the restroom. That sucks. I hate that shit. Oh man. I'm excited. I'm happy to do this, y'all. I want to say thank y'all in advance for coming, whether you're going to be watching this live or archive. I want to say thank y'all so much for coming through. Greatly appreciate y'all. And yeah, today's topic, y'all can see it. Y'all see the title. It's down below. Y'all know what we're talking about today. and girls, or whatever you identify as today. But we are going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about strip club etiquette. This is a topic I brought up a while back, but I wanted to update it kind of because I've had way more experience now. Way more experience now than I've had when I first did this video. The reason why I'm doing this video really is just because I feel like, or the Strip Club Chronicles, is I feel like a lot of stuff on YouTube doesn't give you necessarily the real. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes it's always the one or two things: people demonizing it or people glorifying it. There's like no in between. There's no real understanding. And so my point of Strip Club Chronicles is to give you that understanding, and you know, hoping that you guys can take some information away from this and apply it to your life. And if you want to be able to go to the clubs, or you know, give you basically give you a more, you know, human perspective, if you will, of strip clubs and stuff like that. So today is going to be interesting. Like I said, it's something that I've talked about before, but it's something that I want to retouch on. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I want to touch on, and you know, it's kind of like, you know, just kind of redoing, you know, refresh things up, you know, and stuff like that. So before we do any of this, though, we are going to make our way over to the club. Bam! Look at that. a little something else. It's not a lot, but it's something. So yeah, just wanted to kind of break this down for y'all, man. Let me also let y'all know that it's going to be these are my thoughts, my opinions. I do not claim to be a know-it-all, but I do claim to have some experience. But if I miss something, or if I'm saying something that you know, don't think is right, or you don't agree with, feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. I do understand that every city is different. Every club is different, and every city and every state's different rules. So you do have to I am accounting for basically the places that I've been to and places that I work at or worked at prior. And so that's want to let y'all know that's where I'm getting my experience from. So like I said, I'm also open to anybody else's I guess point of view. And you know, eventually I'm gonna get some more dancers in here. If you are a dancer and you see this video, come across this video, and you want to talk about it, let me know. Hit me up and we'll definitely talk. All right. But anywho, without further ado, I think, what am I missing? I guess once again, this is these are my thoughts, my own opinions. That's about all I can say about that. So, you know, I will be using dancer names, but the names will be protected. So you know, if I'll use dancer names, I might use basic names maybe for management. If I do decide to name drop, but it's like I said, once again, these are all my opinions. It's not indicative of where I currently work at now, or any of that. Okay. All right. So now that we got that shit out the way, yeah, let's get into it. So, first off, I guess, when you go into these strip clubs, right? You gotta understand what you're going for, right? You gotta look at what you're going for, because there's multiple reasons why you would go to a strip club, right? Everybody in there is trying to invite you in, and you can be in there for different reasons, right? You know, DJ can invite you in. You know, the girls will try to get you in, try to invite you to come see them. Waitresses will get you to come see them. All of that, even management will get you to come in, because that's, long story short, or up front, that's how we make our money, right? We get people in there, have drinks, have a good time, spend money. It's business, right? So you as a customer uh need to understand what you're who and what you're going for. And it's important to know this, because if you if you do have an idea, it makes things a lot easier, right? Now, if it's your first time in a club, what I would recommend you do, right? I would recommend, if you can, try to um call ahead and and try to ask about specials, and if they have any specials for the particular day, what's their thing. But I would definitely recommend you come in, right? Now, before you go in, make sure you are of age. Most strip clubs are 21 and up, especially the ones that serve alcohol. Okay? If they have a bar that serves alcohol, more often than not, the age for you to get in will be 21. So make sure you have your ID um up to date, and make sure you are old enough to drink. Okay? So the only time, to my knowledge, that you will be 18 and up is if the club is BYOB, or bring your own bottle, right? So that means they're not serving alcohol there. Uh, yeah, they're not serving alcohol there. They might have a kitchen, maybe. It depends. It really does depend on the club, right? It does. So most of the time, though, you're gonna need to be 21 to get in, unless the club doesn't have a bar. So that's from what I've noticed and what I've worked at. Most clubs are 21 and up, though, because most of the clubs I've worked at, they have a bar. So, uh, so with the bar, you got to make sure that with TABC. If anybody's in Texas, y'all know how TABC is. So TABC they're serious about that. So, um, make sure you're 21 and up. Make sure you have your ID. And here's a big one, and it's kind of a, I guess, no brainer, at least for me and anybody else that participates in this. But make sure you have some money, right? Please. Uh, Make sure you have some money. Make sure you bring some money, and just have some. You don't have to be like the guy that's coming in with hundreds, and you know ready to throw money, coming in with stacks of money. Of course, that would be great, and folks would love you there, of course. But that's not a necessity, right? I'm just gonna be real with you. Okay. Um, First time coming in, like I said, I would definitely recommend that you bring some money, have some money on you, have some cash on hand. Um, the reason why I would say go for having cash on hand is because honestly, it's easier to deal with than just going to the ATM, right? Um, yeah, that's just you know my personal opinion on the matter. I know. I think if memory serves me correctly, I think businesses get a cut if you use the ATM. I'm not exactly sure. If I could be wrong about that. If anybody that works in a club, or if business wise can refresh me on that, that'd be great. But me personally, I'd rather you just have the money on deck and just go to your ATM. If you need to take a break and go and come back. Um, that's just a personal preference for me. Um, but yeah, when you go first time you go, try to talk to the door girl. Try to see if you can talk with management. There's different things you can probably set up there. If you are looking for like a bachelor party, you can get a bottle service is normally a thing. Most likely, if the club is serving alcohol, they're gonna advertise for the bottle service. Bottle service can go anywhere. Start is anywhere for like I think, remember last I checked was like the lowest I've seen was like 50 at one club I worked at some years ago. 50 anywhere 50 to 100 and up for a bottle, and that kind of guarantees you, like, sometimes the manager might waive your cover fee. Uh, it depends on what bottle you get, and if you bring people with you. So there's different reasons you can go if you're celebrating like a birthday, bachelorette party, or just in general have a good time. Different reasons you can go. Um, but yeah, getting a hold of specials or knowing what specials are for what day uh would be good. Now, days to go. I know a lot of y'all kind of like ask, or some people have asked, like, what days would you go? And some people say like the weekend is normally a good time to go. I would agree to an extent that weekends are normally a good time to go. But if you're not that big into like crowds and everybody having a good time, if you're not really big into crowds, because the weekend's normally the popular time to go out anyway, right? And especially that's doubly sure in strip clubs, right? But if you don't want to go like on a Friday or Saturday, I would suggest going like on a Sunday or maybe a Monday. Reason being is because Sunday, it's still the weekend, sure. But like sometimes Sunday, it's like that. It depends on the vibe, right? It really does depend. But like Sunday, especially like if you've never really been, Sunday is like a good night to go, right? Sunday, Monday, beginning of the week. I know here in San Antonio, Tuesdays, the bigger days are like Tuesdays and the weekends. So if you want to kind of avoid the heavy days, going in Monday, Tuesday, Sunday is normally a good one too. Depending on the club, some days like got good things on Sunday. I know the club I work at, we just started a thing where $6 you call it's all night long. So that's definitely starting to it's helping pick things up a little bit. So like I said, we just started, so we're trying to gauge that and keep that going. But yeah, weekends are normally the big ones if you're really big in the crowds and you don't mind. Daytime versus nighttime is another dynamic that I'll get into in a bit. But the reasons to go, or people that you can go, right? Like I said before, there's different people that's going to be asking you to go check them out. And it's not, like I said, it's not just the dancers. It's the DJ. I'll ask you. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a DJ, I'm coming in asking you, how you doing, Miss Place? Good to see you. As a DJ, I'll ask people to come check out the club and have a good time and vibe with me. What else? The bartender, waitress will ask you to come in, just to come chill with them, and get because like I said, it helps everybody, right? So there's different reasons why you will come, and once you pick a reason, make sure, like I said, make sure you have your money, make sure you have everything going, and I'm going to check it out one night. Hey, that's good. Like, check out one in your area. I would say find one. Just go to different ones. If you have multiple ones in your area, find one that fits the vibe that you like, right? If you don't want anything too ratchet, it depends on where it's located. Sometimes you'll have clubs that are ratchet. You'll have some clubs that are like high energy and stuff like that, and then you have some clubs that are chill. It really does depend on the management and stuff like that. Now, me personally, it really does depend on the night for me. Oh, the ones you like. Oh, mine is chill. So the club I'm at, and to kind of explain the club I'm at, I like I said, I work at All Stars in San Antonio. So, y'all know where I'm at when I work. But the club is chill. Like, it's one of those chill clubs. Depending on the day, it can pick up. Slow and steady seems to be the thing for that club sometimes, because it seems like it's not a lot going, or sometimes it'll seem like it's really slow. or it's not a lot going on, like not a lot of dances, but like the people that are there, they do tend to stay longer, and once they find a dancer that they like, they'll spend money on them and they'll be there for a while, like a good while. Like I've seen people come there, or they'll be at the bar all night getting drinks and stuff, and yeah, they'll be there for a while. So the vibe is pretty good. I like the the upbeat vibe, so it really does depend on, who's there, who what you're there for. And I gotta put this there. If you're here with the manager, if you're cool with a manager, right? Please don't be that guy. Okay, I gotta put that out there. Please don't be that guy. Please don't be the snobby person that, oh, I'm cool with the manager, so you think you can get away with anything. I'll get into that later. I will get into that a little bit later. But like I said, know what you're going there for. If it's for a dancer, like I said, you already know. Especially make sure you have your money together if you're going with for a dancer. Okay, make sure you have enough. If you're just going in general to check out the vibe, have a little bit of money. Buy you something to drink at the bar. Like I said, get you something to eat in the kitchen if they have good food in the kitchen. Most kitchens normally have good food. Most clubs normally have really good food. I know one of the things I would look for as a customer is customer service. How they have what's an enough range? Honestly, to kind of lowball it a little bit, I would say if you can at least have 100, anywhere between 50 to 100 on you, you don't have to spend it all, but have at least 50 to 100 on you, ready to go. You'll be okay. Okay, depending on what you're there for. You feel me? I would say if you're going for general purpose, I would say have at least 50 to 100 on you. If you're going generally, just to check it out, have that at least in the bag. Yeah, I would still say the same range, 50 to 100, because sometimes you might get a lot of food, you might get some drinks or something, you might get something that's a little bit expensive outside of special. Yes, sometimes the drinks might be a little bit more expensive, but hey, the club's got to make their money somehow. You feel me? But yeah, that's a good question, Miss Place. Very good question. How much to bring? But yeah, I would generally say on the low end, 50 to 100. Like I said, that's a low end. I know a lot of people that work in the industry be like, well, that's not a lot of money. But like I said, I would say at least play it safe. Oh, you got me on the TV. I'm on TV. What up, 13? Shout out to 13, man. We had a good conversation. Ronan, what's going on, man? Ronan, how you doing? But yeah, if you guys got money like that, like I said, if you want to ball out, cool, right? I would say save the balling out for when you get comfortable at the club that you're at. Like if you've been there for a while and you really feel comfortable there, you enjoy yourself there, you're gonna have a good time. Best I could do is 350. Got to get your money up, Ronan. Gotta get it up there, man. But yeah, come in there with 50 to 100. Oh, you ain't got to be a baller. Like honestly, I'm telling you, honestly, it depending on what you're going in there for, if you're in there on a consistent basis, it's they'll enjoy you. If you're consistently spending a certain amount of money, they'll especially when people know what you're in there. Like, hey, Miss Place is here. She's if a new dancer tries to come up to you, they'll be like, nah, hey, she doesn't need to get down with dancers like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some customers in there, like, there's people in there like we know who's in there. Once you come in there, especially if you start coming in there a lot, we start figuring out who's in there for what, and we kind of accommodate from there. So it's nothing, like I said, and don't feel bad. That's the other thing, right? Don't feel bad if you don't have the money that you want to spend. Don't ever feel bad for that, right? Because at the end of the day, you're the customer. You're there to be entertained. If you have a good time, you might be a little bit, just don't be a dick about it. That, like, I think that's gonna be the main takeaway from this. They teach me how to dance, but I like a good conversation. But I do know time is money. Hey, yeah, no, understandable. And with the dancers, like I said, if you're not there for the dancers, I would heavily advise you to like kind of like ease up on them. Like, don't try to like don't do nothing. If you're not there to get like anything for the dancers, like at least tip them or whatever. Don't do much to get their attention. I'm just telling you that right now. Right? And speaking of dancers, I think we're gonna get into this, right? So we've gotten to the point where once you figure out what you want to go there for, you found out the specials, you found out like, what you want to be there for, the specials and stuff like that. I don't want people to gravitate towards me. Nothing wrong with that. And some people it just naturally happens, right? Some people just naturally, people naturally gravitate towards them. It's a thing, right? And communication, right? That's the biggest thing. Is communication is key. Once you are clear, be clear with what you want. I think that's the bottom line with this. Is be clear with what you're there for, right? And that's something I'm going to be talking about with the dancers too in the next video, talking about it. So be clear with it. Don't be like, if you ain't got it like that, and if you don't know how to like finagle your way, if you're not good at that, please don't. Because the worst thing we could do, and the worst situation that'll happen for you as a customer, is you getting yourself kicked out or getting yourself banned from a club because of some bullshit, right? So I guess, and here's the thing too, couples. Oh, I got to talk about couples, because couples annoy me, at times. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes couples annoy me, right? Because if you don't feel comfortable going, right, and I'm gonna probably say it again later, but I'm gonna say it now. If you do not want to go, if you don't feel comfortable going, please don't go. Okay? If you have a significant other that wants to go, or that's been going, especially if you met them and that's what they were doing on a regular basis, that's a whole nother conversation. But if you're going to go with your partner, please be sure y'all communicate beforehand what y'all going to do. Because me personally, the couples that I hate, and I see often and I hate it, I haven't seen it a lot where I work at now, but I've seen it before, and I swear it's annoying. It's the couple that is kind of like, where the woman does, the woman's there, but the guy doesn't want to have a good, he wants to have a good time, but he really can't. Because that couple that that when a woman's in there, before they got into the club, when you was at the store and your mama told you, don't you touch nothing. When we go in the store, don't touch nothing. Don't look at nothing. Don't do nothing. That type of shit. So when you go in the store, you see that kid that wants to look at Skittles, but that wants to look at that new toy, but they can't look at the new toy because, their mama told them that. It's the same thing in the strip club, right? The girl done told, the guy, hey, don't go in there, don't act up, don't embarrass me, don't do this, don't look, and made him try to make him feel bad. And now he's looking in the club looking all lonely and sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate those couples, bro. Like, I promise you I do. Like the couples that be that be sitting up here, mad at their man for picking out a girl that they like, but then she's over here, she over here like knowing the girls are there to make money. She out there just, me mugging all the other girls that he so happens to like and want to get dances from, or he wants to tip. And, she gets the one that she wants, or the one that, she know that he doesn't like. So she's over there having a good time with her, or, those couples, the one that's just being vindictive. And it's really not a good time. Bottom line, it's not a good time. It's not fun because, the girls are frustrated. The dancers are frustrated. The couple is frustrated, or at least the guy is. The girl's allegedly having a good time, supposedly, or she's just, already not feeling it. She's just there just to be there. But like, if you're a couple, please have that conversation before y'all like decide to go, right? If you don't feel comfortable going, please, for everything, for the love of everything that's good and holy in the world, Please. Just don't go, okay? Save yourself the trouble. Don't go. All right. All right. But yeah, and also too, the other couples that I kind of like don't really care much for, they're not, I don't necessarily see them as bad, but because at least they're enjoying themselves. But the couples that get a little bit too handsy and that are the ones that are like looking for a threesome, those motherfuckers, boy. Those are the crazy ones, bro. Those are looking for threesome. They looking for some action. Now, whether the dancer does it or not, that's their problem. But like, but come on now, that should be like, look, bro, it ain't that serious. It's not a. It's entertainment at the club. You don't got to take them home with you. Speaking of which, I gotta say this too for the guys, for the fellas. Make sure this ties in with being clear about your shit. Okay. Make sure that you keep your wits about you, right? Make sure that you please like keep your, I know it's hard. I get it. You got a beautiful girl that's right there. Keep in mind that this is business. Okay. I can't stress this enough. Like, it's business at the end of the fucking day, right? So you got a girl that she's all on you or whatever. Oh, and you know she's on you for whatever. Like, make sure you establish your boundaries, right? Because as a customer, you have that right. You got to make sure you establish your boundaries. If you don't want anybody touching you, you don't want a female touching you, or you don't want her to, to act a certain way to you, or if you have a type, make sure you say that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you have a certain type of girl that you like or that you're looking for, management and also the staff can help you with that. Right? Nothing wrong with, having, if you want to deal with a white girl, you don't want to deal with a black girl, that's fine. That's perfectly your choice. If you want a girl with big breasts or you want a girl with nice ass, that's part of the fantasy, right? Like, you have a right to that. But please do not be rude about it. Okay? Do not be a dick about it. Don't do it, please. Okay? If a girl that comes up to you is not your type, be respectful and decline. Okay? You don't have to be a bitch about it. You don't have to be a dick about it. Please let her down easy. Just drop her down easy, please. It's not that hard. A no thank you will suffice. Okay? A simple no thank you. Okay? It's it. That's it. A simple no thank you would work. Okay? Simple, clear body language would work. You don't have to be a bitch about it. You don't have to be like, ew, no. Like, oh my God, no. Like, you don't have to do that to her. Okay? You don't. All right? And if a girl is pressuring you, or if a girl is making you feel uncomfortable, please get away and talk to management. Now, granted, I will say this, and I've noticed this with a lot of clubs. So you do got to be careful. This is why I say you got to be clear in your communication. Because in a lot of clubs, they will cater to the girl. They will lean towards the girl. Okay? The clubs are a big ass gray area. I need y'all to understand this. Okay? And I'm gonna be bringing that point up again later. All right? But I do know sometimes they will tend to lean towards the girl. Okay? Just got to be careful with that. So if you don't establish a rapport with the management or anybody on the staff, and you get caught up in something, it's going to be harder for you. This is why I would highly recommend you build a rapport with the management and or staff. So that way people would know who you are, know what you're about, and if something does pop off, it would be easy for your case to be defended, right? I say that because I do not. I've seen so many instances of like bad miscommunication. I've seen instances of, you know, sometimes girls even lying on customers, saying that she made them feel uncomfortable. And maybe it could have been something that was like minor in the grand scheme of things, but there will be some dancers or some girls that can be a little bit on the malicious side. Okay. Once again, it is business. All right. And once again, this is a big ass gray area. And I need y'all to understand that. And I'm gonna keep repeating that point. Because I need y'all to understand as a customer where you stand. Now, when you build your rapport and let's just say I'm gonna use somebody in the chat, for example. Let's just say I'm gonna use Ronan, right? I'm gonna use Ronan for an example. Ronan, you come in a club and you come to my club, for example, and I don't know you from a can of paint. I'll put it like that, right? If I don't know you, you just come in the club and you don't speak to anybody, and you just come across as distant, and now me personally, I'm going to try to talk to you, right? I'm going to try to make sure you're good. Now my club will try to make sure you're good. That's why I like my club, because it's been better customer service than a lot of other clubs I worked at. But like if you were at a regular ass club and something happened, right? If you're not built, you never talked to any of the management, you were just in there, just you didn't tip anybody, you didn't do anything, and a dancer came up and said, "Hey, Ronan, that guy, this guy right here," and points to you and says, "Hey, you made me feel uncomfortable." More often than not, what'll end up happening is you'll be in some sort of trouble, right? You may not be kicked out right then and there, but you might be on a watch list, right? They might be watching you closely at that point. So yeah, you might get management come up to you a little bit. You might have that manager come up to you, hey, is everything okay? Is everything good? Versus if you are clear with your communication and you have a rapport, you build up a rapport, you come in regularly. If something does pop off, say a new girl comes in and she's like, "Oh, well, Ronan made me feel uncomfortable." Well, we could tell that girl to kick rocks because, well, we know how Ronan acts. Now, we're not saying things can't change. We're not saying that, sometimes you might be in the wrong, but it'll be easier for you to do that. Now, once again, that goes into something I kind of briefly touched on, and y'all know in strip clubs, cash is king. So tipping people is the way to go, right? If you want something done, you want something to be a little bit more favorable for you, make sure you have some money to tip, right? That's why I said 50 to 100. That way you have a little bit of extra money to tip, right? So you want a certain song played from the DJ, for example. It would behoove you to tip. Now, me personally, I balance the two. Personally, if it's slow, especially like if I'm just getting in there and it's a little slow, cool. And you're in there and you want to hear a certain song, cool. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily hurting for a tip, right? Now, if you do decide to tip, cool, that'll be great. That's even better. But I'm not hurting for it. Now, if you are like later in the night, we having everything's going, everything's moving, we keeping the vibe up, we're keeping the vibe going, and you request a song to me, especially if a song is outside of the vibe that I feel at that moment. Okay? Especially if the song is outside the vibe, I may not. And if you don't tip, I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you don't tip, I'm less like I'll probably wait a little bit before I play it. Especially if the song is outside that vibe. Outside the vibe that I have set. Now, if you tipping, especially if you tip more, you might get the song. You might get the song that you want. I can't be in there. I'll be crazy. That would be wise. Now, if there's a girl that can pull it off, now I would see. Now if you tip me right, if you tip the DJ to get a song that you want played, right? As a DJ, I'll tell a dancer in a minute, hey, dude was tipping. He tipped me. Now, of course, the girl's gonna get a little jealous because the dancer's gonna get a little jealous because you didn't tip her either. But at that point, I don't give two shits because guess what? I'm the one that controls the music. So personally, guess what? I'm good. Okay, he tipped me. Now, if you decide to tip her too, then that's cool. She'll be all right with that. She's gonna have to live with it. May not be her favorite, but she's gonna have to suck it up and deal with it. And I'm gonna be getting in on the dancers too, because the dancers, y'all think y'all slick. I'm gonna get y'all. I'm gonna talk about y'all later. But no, be sure to have some money to tip though. Like honestly, if you're talking to a waitress, make sure you tip your waitress. If you can. And if you want something from the DJ, tip the DJ. If you really want it that bad, tip them. Go for it. And it does help. If you grease a few palms, it makes things a little bit easier. And I know that sounds bad to somebody, but like it's facts though. You know what I'm saying? Once again, this job is a big ass gray area. So, if two people, so if Ronan comes in and asks for a song to get played, but Miss Place comes in and she wants a song to get played, and she tips me, guess whose song I'm playing first? If you answered misplaced, then you'd be correct. I'd be the first. I play her first. Business 101, exactly. What up, Headmaster? How you doing? Shopmaster, how you doing? Welcome in. Right? It's just the small things, and this is something that people need to understand. It seem a little bit, some people get a little sensitive about it, I guess, and I understand. I understand that some of y'all get a little sensitive about it. I get you, but you're gonna have to put your sensitivities at the fucking door when you're in the strip clubs. I'm just gonna tell you that. I can't tell you. I can't tell you nothing else. Y'all know I'm not gonna intentionally steer you wrong. I just got to give y'all a heads up on how it works. And if after hearing that you don't want to go, like I understand, but it's kind of the same thing like when you're dealing with a waitress at a a regular restaurant. If you want your if somebody's giving you good service, it would behoove you. Now you don't have to tip. Now I'm gonna tell you this right now. You don't have to tip. You don't. Right? I've dealt with plenty of people that are cool and respectful. Don't tip worth a shit. It is what it is. It's fine by me. But at the very least, they at least are chill with me enough. They cool, they good vibes, good talks, and it's a good time. Every time I see them, I see a few regulars. There's been a couple of regulars that come in. They at the bar talking with the bartender. I'll go by and say hi to them. They don't tip me. I'm not necessarily begging for the tip neither. But at the end of the day, it does help. Greasing palms does help. Once again, it's business 101 according to Headshot Master 1. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you have, like I said, that goes back into, like I said, make sure you have your money, make sure you know what you're going in there for. Now, if you are with a dancer, right? If you are with a dancer, okay, you find a dancer you like, you find a type that you like, right? I would say if you're going for a dancer, have at least 100 to 200 on you, right? Just on GP. And this is, like I said, this is on the lower end, right? If you're going specifically for a dancer, have a couple of hundred on you at least 1 to 2, because it would make things a little bit more better. Because with a lot of dancers, dancers have to do a little bit of tip outs and stuff like that. So they don't have to. The tipping is optional, technically, but they do have house fees. They do have dancers that do have certain fees that they got to pay out. So it is what it is, right? So when you do see a dancer you like, right, and you go on stage, I got to talk about this one, right? I know a lot of clubs have a no touching rule, right? And some clubs have like a distance rule. It really does depend on the club. Some clubs are a lot more conservative, like the club I'm at, but sometimes some clubs will leave it up to the girl, right? And this is where you have to pay attention to social cues, right? If you are socially awkward, please take the time to be careful and do not rush into anything. Okay? If you are one of those customers that if a girl looks at you a certain way, you already coming off of money, please be careful. Right? And I don't mind people tricking. I know, like they said, it ain't tricking if you got it. And but I say this because out of genuine concern, because I don't want you, especially my guys, mainly my guys, I don't want y'all to get in a position to where y'all are putting yourself at risk. You understand? And I want y'all to understand. I really want y'all to get that. Like, so if you're with a girl, make sure you have the money to tip her. You make sure you have things going. Make sure you pay attention to social cues, right? If she's not comfortable with you or too comfortable with doing certain things, don't push the envelope. You understand what I'm saying? Now, there'll be some girls that will be patient with you. If you're socially awkward, find you a dancer that will work with you, right? You don't have to tell her I'm socially awkward, but sometimes girls can tell, right? So if you're a little bit on the socially awkward side, be a little bit conservative with your money and how you spend it. I would say, right? And this is just a personal tip from me to you, whoever's watching this, as a customer. I want you to make sure you don't get too caught up in how they look and how they interact with you, right? If she makes you feel uncomfortable, if you're with a dancer and she makes you feel uncomfortable, like I said before, leave her alone, right? If she's pressuring you for a dance and you don't want to dance from her yet, be sure to say that. Okay, you have every right to say no. You have every right to not want to dance. Okay, and if you get one of those that like that will get mad and take it personal or talk shit about you, that's not your fault. That's their fault. Okay, don't even entertain it. Just if she's bothering you that bad, please tell a manager. Because at the end of the day, I want you to be in a safe, have a good time. And it sucks because I've seen this, and I've seen a couple of girls do this, and it's not right. And this is where the conflict happens, at least for me, that you will sit up here and you want to have a good time, but then a girl's pressuring you for a dance and you're not really feeling her like that. You know what I'm saying? And some of these girls go through some shit. I'm not even gonna, and it's not to excuse their behavior, but I need you as a customer to understand that some of these girls got a lot of shit going on behind the scenes. Some of them are dealing with bills. Some of them are trying to maintain a lifestyle, and some of them trying to maintain a lifestyle, reputation, all that. It is what it is, right? Not excusing the behavior at all, right? I'm not excusing the shitty behavior. But you as a customer have a right to, say where what starts and what ends. Okay? Don't ever let any of these dancers make you feel bad for not wanting to get a dance from them, a private dance from them. Okay? You don't have to do any of that shit, right? Don't ever let these dancers, and I can't stress that enough. I can't. Because I like I said, I've seen girls that will sit up here and, you know, and I've talked with some dancers like behind the scenes, you know, just, you know, throughout the course of the night. And yeah, sometimes we'll pick on a couple of customers or whatever, guys that are like legit weird. But then, you know, sometimes there's girls that are like picking on a guy that's like, you know, socially awkward, but he's just a, you know, overall a good person. I'm like, y'all, leave that dude alone. Like, let that dude, okay, you not his type. Oh well, boo-hoo. Talk, you know. Go leave that man alone. Find somebody else. It happens, right? So as a customer, make sure you have, once again, your boundaries in place, right? And on the same token, and on the same side of that, make sure you respect her boundaries, right? So you got to understand social stuff, right? So if you don't understand social cues, this is one of the reasons why I encourage people to go, because it helps you understand social cues, right? So you can be, you could be that person that everybody gravitates towards, right? Have a good time with, people enjoy, right? Or you can be that person that's, you know, in the back, you know, the club, the wallflower, or whatever, people not really feeling. It is what it is, right? So when you are the latter, sometimes it might be a little bit harder for you to get interaction. Some girls may not like that. Some girls may not, you know, it may take longer for some dancers to get to know you, right? As a person. And sometimes you may have to, you know, come up off some money in order for you to actually sit down and talk with the girls, right? It's what it is, right? Exactly what it is. But you also have to make sure you respect their boundaries as well, right? If a girl doesn't want you to touch her, leave it alone. Drop it. Okay? Because like I said before, if something goes wrong, they'll go to management. They'll tell somebody. Okay? And we don't want that. We wouldn't want you to get, you know, kicked out the club for a misunderstanding. And like I said, don't be a dick, right? And I think somebody asked me this on Twitter. I gotta remember. I think somebody asked me this on Twitter. And I gotta find it. Somebody, oh, that's what it was. Somebody from my stream team, from in control asked me. They were asking if what happens let me see, where is it? He was asking what happens at what happens to the customers who try and grab stage money? All right. The quick and easy version of this is that if they get caught, more often than not, they're going to get kicked out. Point blank. That simple. Right? If once that money leaves your hands, it's no longer yours. Point blank, period. Once that money leaves your hands, that's it. It's it. It's no longer your money. Okay? So make sure you're sure that's the money you want to spend. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever, that's disrespect. That's straight up disrespect. If you ever get caught, you know what? I shit you not. This actually happened while I was working at the club. I want to say a few weeks ago. Guy was acting a little weird. I think he was a little drunk too. He was acting weird and he was tipping a girl. It looked like he was tipping a girl on stage. But like, she jumped back quick and she turned around like really quick. As she was dancing on the guy, she noticed that the guy, I guess, was taking money from her as like her garter belt, like she had like a garter on her leg, and she felt it and she turned around and she jumped and she started to snap on the guy. And fortunately, other people saw it, that he was taking money. Like the bartender saw it, and I had stepped away for about a split second because I was trying to make sure the rotation was good. But I did see like the after effect, and yeah. So the dude got caught, you know, trying to take money from the girl, and they busted the guy's chops, and they were like, "Look, you won't have to go." I think they ended up kicking the guy out because the guy was already a little on the tipsy side anyway, and he was starting to act a little weird. But we don't want y'all to be that guy. Make sure y'all know y'all limits, please. Right? Respect boundaries, know your limits. Right? Oh yeah. Oh, that's hella rude. Fuck, hella rude. There are certain things that are straight up rude, right? That there are certain things that's straight up rude, and that's one of them. Just taking money, stealing money from a dancer, that's like when you're picking up money off the floor like that, and it's on the floor. Like, nah, leave that money where it's at. Especially if you're by a dancer and you sitting up there see a guy throwing money and stuff like that, and money's just flying everywhere. Like, no, and it lands on the floor and it's by you. Especially if you seen the guy throwing money, leave that shit alone. Please don't. And I mean that. Like, I can't even joke about that shit. Like, mm. I'll make sure you get kicked out in a minute, because I'm not about to play with that disrespect. Because these people work hard, and for you to sit up here and take their money like that because you think that you think you can do it, right? So once you get with, like I said, you get with a dancer, make sure you respect their boundaries. And when you do get dances from them, it goes double for when you get dances from them. Now, like I said, some clubs they'll leave it up to the girls. I think my club is like that too. They'll leave it up to the girls if they want you to touch or not. If a girl doesn't want you touching her, just let it be, right? Respect the boundaries, tip and move on, right? There's plenty of other girls that's working there. All right. And I put it like this, and I gotta say this too, because there's times where things may get a little hot and heavy, right? I gotta say it like this, and there's no other way to say it. Just because you get a little hot and bothered, it does not mean, and just because you spend money on her, it does not mean she's going to go home with you. I'll say it again. Just because you spent money on her, the dancer, doesn't mean she's going home with you. All right? As a matter of fact, there's a lot of clubs that have things in place to prevent that from happening. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that shit can't happen inside the club, because once again, the club is a gray area. I'm just saying, if you get caught, you're going to be in a whole heap of trouble. All right? And just because that is one way to do it, right? But just because you spent money on a girl, it doesn't mean she's going home with you, right? I got to put that out there, because a lot of people tend to think that, and yes, if it happens, it happens, right? I'm not saying it will never happen, because we'll never say never, because like I said, gray area, it'll happen. Sometimes it can happen, but more often than not, it's not happening, right? It's not. Just because you spend money, she gives you her number, you're a client, dude. At the end of the day, you're her client, right? And I don't want to say that to be rude. It's not to be mean, rude, nasty, or disrespectful. But that's just the nature of the business, right? And I don't want any of y'all to feel bad about being a client. It's not a bad thing. But you do have to understand the nature of the business. And this is the point of these videos, because a lot of guys come in there thinking that they're going to get laid and get a happy ending in a strip club. And like I said, I'm not going to sit up here and knock the fact that it can happen, because there are some girls that could probably do that. Sure. But if you go in there with that mindset already, you're already fucked. No pun intended. You're already fucked. Right? Because at the end of the day, this is just entertainment. Right? And this is why we have this problem right now with this whole fight between the adult entertainment and the morality argument, right? Because people are like, oh, well, this, that, and the third. This is why I say you got to be clear with what you want. Right? Yes, give yourself room for error. Give yourself room for expression, to express yourself or to try new things. That's fine. But I want you to keep your wits about you. You need to understand that, hey, these girls are here for a business, dog. These girls work hard. Right? And just because a girl doesn't go home with you or whatever, it doesn't make her less than. Right? And I gotta say that, and I'll stand on that one. Okay, just because these girls don't want to go home with you, or they will, some of these girls would, some girls, they'll say some of these girls will never see you as their type or whatever. That's a whole. I'll be talking with the dancers on that shit, but that's something I'll talk about on the dancer segment, but later. But honestly, when it comes down to shit like that, you never know, right? But I wouldn't go in there thinking that, because a lot of times these girls got bills to pay, stuff like that, right? And there are guys in there that will pay a girl's bills, and some girls will be all over that person. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want you as a customer to feel bad, because especially if you're not that person, say you're that person that, there are different types of people, right? There are some people that are showboatish, that will be flamboyant and show off, and they like to be that guy that has stacks of money on the table, and they'll throw money out. Hey, it's dope. We love those guys. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I like that shit. Like, I like the guys that can throw the money out, or the girls that can throw the money out and it's raining out. I've seen that shit happen before, and I love it. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? But I also don't discount the customer that will sit there and just enjoy the vibe, because sometimes those are the ones that really got the bread. You feel me? Those are the ones that really have the money, and sometimes they just want some company for that. You know what I'm saying? That company for that minute. Sometimes, hell, if you give a girl 200-300 to, just sit and talk with you, cool. I shit you not. There's a customer that's actually a regular at the club I work at, and he literally sits there, and he has girls that come in and work. The girls that come in to work, they go to see him. And I mean, the guy's got money. Okay? The guy has money, you feel me? And the girls that work, that sit with him, they never dance. They never, I don't ever call them to go on stage. Ever. Because they're already locked in with him, and he's got them covered. I shit you not. Right? It's a thing. But then you also have, sometimes you'll have people that'll come in there with their friends, and or come in there, their friends got money and they like to spend money, but they like to show off, and they'll have their favorite song going, every time I go out, I got to show out, and just, the song come on and they just, money flying everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That if that's you, cool. So as a customer, you have to realize who you are, right? And what you're there for. Make sure you have your money. Make sure you have your things. Make sure you have a vision of what you want to go there for. And keep in mind that it's just, at the end of the day, all of this is entertainment. I'll say it again. Keep in mind that at the end of the day, all of this is entertainment. Right? If anything happens after that, cool. If you want to take a dancer, you want to have a dancer for as a client for like, say, want to set up a music video. Say you're an artist and you want to get one of the dancers in your music video. Of course, yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead, exchange numbers, talk business, but make sure you have the money up front. I say that because I'm actually talking with somebody that's an artist, and he was asking me about possibly getting girls in a video for him, and I was like, yeah, sure, you can do that, but make sure you have money to do that. You know what I mean? You don't got to be big baller status, but at least have some money to, once again, grease palms. Make sure you have some money to tip. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like I said, it's just entertainment, and I want y'all to understand that. If you don't want to go, or if you feel like the club isn't for you, you don't have to go. And for the love of everything holy, please leave them alone. If you don't feel comfortable going, that's fine. But don't degrade these women, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they got going on. You don't know anything. Because I can guarantee you, some of that stuff that y'all be thinking about some of these dancers, not even remotely close. A lot of these dancers will literally get their money from you and go home. I'm telling you, there's times where there's a couple of dancers that I know that I stopped talking to, because, like I said, they don't even really talk to me like that. And I've worked with them. This is me working with them. I've tried reaching out to them just to see how they're doing. Hey, how you doing? Make sure you straight. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping about it. That's just how they are. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, some of them got their little issues. Some of them might be that type of person. But if they are, they are. If they're not, then let it be. Just let people enjoy things. I feel like that meme, that let people enjoy things meme. That's what I feel like to tell some of y'all. But yeah, so once again, just, to kind of recap everything. Make sure you go in there, knowing the specials, right? Find a club that you like, or a couple of clubs that you like. Ask what the specials are, right? Build up a rapport with the staff and or management, right? Okay. Establish your boundaries. Okay. And if you do, like I said, never say never too. That's the other thing. Never say never. Sometimes people will be like, oh, well, I'll never go give a girl a dance. Oh, never say never, because you might see a girl one day. You go to that club one day, you'll see a girl that'll make you change your mind, and you'll be over here spending money that you didn't even know you had. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, respect the boundaries, establish your boundaries, and remember, at the end of the day, it's just entertainment. Feel me? All right. But yeah, let me know if y'all guys got any questions. Y'all hit me up. Let me know what's up. Anybody that watches this on archive, I would love to hear your comments below. Once again, dancers, if you got anything that y'all want to add, comment below. If you're a dancer, or if you're anybody that works in the clubs, let me know. Let me know where you're from, where you're at. Let me know what your rules are. Stuff like that. I love to hear from you. I love to hear from you. Oh, and next time, speaking of dancers, next time I'm gonna be getting on y'all. Cause we gotta talk. Dancers, we got to talk. All right. We got to talk. Got to. Cause I'm gonna be giving y'all some tips too. Y'all need to hear it. Cause I'm tired of having to deal with some of y'all. Good Lord, bro. I can't tell you how many times I've had to deal with some dancers, bro. Some of these dancers be tripping. And wondering why they don't be making that much money. But anywho, that's that. But let me know if y'all guys got any questions. I'm gonna open up the floor for y'all. If y'all guys got any, if there's anything I missed, let me know. Miss Place, you got any questions? Headshot Master, Ronin, 13. Any questions? Holla at me. Let me know. Talk to me. Give y'all a few seconds to type out y'all stuff. And once again, y'all be sure to follow me on all social media too if you haven't already. Not just the one you asked earlier. The one you that's right, the one with about how much to bring. Okay, cool. I'm glad I was able to answer that. I hope that helps you. Like I said, just because I gave y'all a range of how much to have, you don't have to spend all of it. Once again, I'll say that again. You don't have to spend all of it. Just enough of a cushion. You don't want to go in there broke. Or if you have a friend that's, paying for you to have dances or whatever, even if you'd have that, just make sure you have some money on the back end to kind of like cover, because you don't want things to go wrong. Trust me, and I've had that happen. That's how I know to make sure to have money. Long story short, I had a girl that charged me extra for a dance one time, and I didn't have it. And we got the problem solved. Like, I ended up getting it from my homeboy, because he was the one that brought me. But I already felt bad at the time after that. He was kind of mad at me, but I'm like, I was more mad at myself. So that trumped all of that. He was like, man, I can't believe. I was like, bro, look, I can't believe that happened. So that's why I said, make sure you have some money on you. You ain't got to be big baller status, but of course you can do that. And like I said, they'll love you. Folks will love you. You drop 300 on somebody, they'll love it. Matter of fact, that'll be a good way to test one of these dancers too. Drop like 20-40 on them and see how they act. If they're ungrateful, if they act like it's nothing or whatever, move on to the next one. I shit you not. I know dancers will be mad at me because I'm giving them the game, but I don't care. I don't care, because we got to have that discussion. I feel like it's high time. But yes, I appreciate y'all once again. Thank y'all so much. For coming through. Greatly appreciate y'all. Be sure to leave your comments below if you haven't already. If y'all are watching this via archive, share this with a friend. Let them know. Ain't nothing wrong with going to a strip club. Just make sure you have your stuff in order. Make sure you have your priorities straight. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And just like I said, it's entertainment. Entertain yourself. Have fun. And make your way back home safe. You can always, like I said, we'd love to have you. If you in the San Antonio area, come see me. All Stars, San Antonio. Come see you, boy. I work Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday nights. And I'm telling y'all, it's going to be fun. Sunday, I love my Sundays because we just started $6. You call it all night long, and it's going to be crazy. It's been crazy all month. So we just started that this month. So anyway, I'm going to give y'all time to think about that. Y'all had y'all time to think about it. Fuck it, I'm ending the stream. Fuck it, I'm ending it. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. That's watching this via archive. Be sure to share it around. Let people know what's up. You know, more action coming soon. Next time I do a Strip Club Chronicles, I'm talking about you dancers. I got something for y'all dancers because I got a bone to pick with y'all, motherfuckers. Got a bone to pick with y'all. Love y'all though. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace and God bless.
The Dynasty.